Welcome to Hope for Survival YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate your time and your willingness to tune in and follow our YouTube efforts. Appreciate it. And to those who are new, thank you as well. We're coming up on Independence Day here in a couple days, and hopefully you all can take some time to enjoy the holiday, maybe reflect back on memories of the holiday in your younger years, and appreciate the meaning of why we have a celebration of Independence Day. It is a little bit hot in many of the regions to be outside for very long, but hopefully you can make the most of it and smile and take it in and enjoy it. In this video, I wanted to talk about a question. Why does it seem there are entities out there who are either in panic mode or coming across as being afraid as to the things that continue to unveil many of the things that we can see happening in our country, maybe in your local area, and around the world. It is alarming. Things are changing, and the likelihood of America going back to the America pre-2020 are highly unlikely. There's just many factors and reasons as to why I say that. Drastic things would have to change, but there's so many things in motion now that are out of our control that we need to recognize and continue to adapt and prepare for these circumstances. I've been home for a few days, and it's given me an opportunity to catch up on different platforms that I tune into, and to read places I choose to go read for updates, information from economics to government to monetary, the military, crime, and so forth. Crime is continuing to escalate. Crime in sanctuary cities, crimes against citizens, young females under the age of 18, and then the culprits of the crime that are being released on $500 bail for raping a minor or taking the life of an innocent human being. We are seeing the ramifications of the 2016 and 2020 elections when a certain individual with the initials Gulf Sierra, who pumped hundreds of millions of dollars into the election process to get very left-leaning officials elected. And now you're seeing them in action, dispersing minimal sentences against individuals who are committing harsh, if not felony level crimes. there's more and more natural disasters that are occurring, and they're all impacting the availability of the food stock for now and for the future. It goes on and on and on. You know, we watched the debate last week that was a bit frightening in some regard. But there were comments about how they're going to resolve things that was posing questions, and it's all about spending more money. And when you have a $34 trillion debt, not including unfunded liabilities, there's no one, to include elected officials from the opposing party, who are warning or sounding the alarm to the American people of the debt crisis that is continuing. We're on the verge of launching into 1, 2, or 3 front wars when we have shortages of equipment, shortages of troops, shortages of munitions, and shortages of funds to pay for these wars. You either print it or you borrow it. And it's questionable who, at this point, who would loan us more money, unless the only thing we really can offer of any value is land. I read a report where there's the Chinese government has purchased large swaths of land near 14 different military bases in the lower 48 states. No one's talking about it, other than a few words here or there, but no one's mentioning anything about it. So these are all issues, but there's very few people talking about the staggering cost of food to families on the ground who are living the consequences of poor decisions, poor government, poor planning, the impact of Mother Nature on crops, so on and so forth. These are the people on the street who are being impacted. No one's talking about the massive increase in homelessness around America. These are going to be continuing to grow, and they're going to become greater and greater problems in and around the cities and the surrounding suburbs to these cities as time goes on. These people have to eat, or they're taking large amounts of drugs to basically get them through not having the ability to eat or to buy food. And the food banks are overrun with people that they're feeding right now. The numbers are just increasing by the day. So I asked the question, so why does everyone appear to be afraid? We didn't wake up this morning to all these problems being here. They've been coming for weeks, months, some of them for years. And if folks are just now waking up, that's a good thing. Hopefully they have the ability to start preparing to take care of their own family or move to get out of the areas of impact directly. But if they take off and move to locations like, we'll say Tennessee, where I am at in East Tennessee, the price for land here has gone through the roof. So unless people are coming with large sums of money, in many cases they're going to be up the creek, because affording land's one thing, but affording land and putting a home on it, if there's not an existing home, then there's so many homes that are being built right now that there's not enough available contractors unless you want to move into a prefab box type neighborhood. So all these are mounting issues, okay? But if you have followed Hope for Survival over the 5 years, or you've taken time to go back to our website and gone through newsletters and so forth, over the 5 year period, we have laid out the different type plans that you need to have: communications, food, canning, gardening, different types of food. We've talked about security numerous times, the 5Ds of security, building a security plan. We've talked about medicinal side of it. We've talked about communications. And it's not just here at Hope for Survival, it's also on numerous websites. Many people are not willing to invest the time to go find and learn these things or print them out to put in a paper library to work their way through the learning process. Everything is a 5-minute fix or a 10-minute fix. And I've written on this in the past. It kind of goes back to the years of President Reagan, when we kind of developed as citizens. The government was spending billions of dollars on defense, on credit, and many Americans kind of adapted the same mentality of a drive-through syndrome, where they want to drive through and they want it right now, and they put it on plastic. And then it ended up where dad had to work, mom had to work, the kids had to work, the cat and dog had to work, and families amassed numerous large sums of debt. Many of them into bankruptcy or losing everything. But the point being is, everyone wants the answer right now, and they want to be prepared right now. And preparing is not an overnight fix or an overnight thing. You can't read a post-apocalypse book and eat through a box of Twinkies and be prepared at the end of the book. It takes time. It takes time preparing. It takes time learning skills. It takes time meeting people. It takes time building your plans. It is almost a full-time side job, getting prepared. But if you have been preparing along this path, as these things unfold all around us, you're going to have a much better chance of surviving the numerous things that could be unfolding. And a lot of people look out their window and they like to say, well, there's nothing happening. Well, I beg to differ, but some of the things I covered already in this video that are happening around you, cost of living, the cost for food, crime, politics, a lot of these things are happening that are not going to directly impact you, okay? And if you are just now getting started, you need to turn off the fear porn, and you need to get your butt in gear. Learning skills, learning how to do things, and putting food back, okay? Most people I know that are into preparedness, they have, they're good people, they have big hearts, they are sympathetic. But if you've had access to the knowledge of things that are going on, and someone talked to you about preparing and you simply ignored it, that's on you, okay? That's not on your friend, that's not on your family, it is on you. if it was more important to go make more money than to put back the items that your family needs to survive. You can't eat money. And if you can't get the money out of the bank, what good is it to you? I'm not opposed to anyone making money, okay? It's a personal sense of stability for now and the future. You may have debt that you need the money to pay for. You know, one of the things when people say, well, what's the first thing I need to do in preparedness? It's get out of debt. You don't want anyone owning you or being able to control you over your debt, okay? But if you're just now getting started, it may be hard to, depending on your debt level, it may be hard to get out from under it quickly. But your preparedness effort is your life insurance policy to take care of your family, either from a natural disaster or personal injury, a car wreck. You may lose your job. There's thousands and thousands of people being laid off from jobs. People are being replaced by AI. They're being replaced by robots. This shouldn't come as a surprise either. We talked about this 4 or 5 years ago, that in time, before 2030, that robots were going to be replacing a lot of humans in the workplace. Remember, a business is about making money. And if they can get rid of humans that cost them payroll, that cost them taxes, that cost them vacation time, it costs them sick leave, it costs them all these different buckets that the government requires of them. But if they have robots doing the work, they can work 24 hours a day and they don't need you, because a robot's a whole lot cheaper in the long run than a human being. So where does that leave you if you live payday to payday, or you might have 30, 60, 90 days of funds put aside for emergencies? How are you going to feed your family and pay your mortgage or pay your rent and car payment if you have debt on all these items? It's going to be very, very difficult. But while you're trying to figure all these things out, you got to eat. Your family's got to eat. They need shelter, and they need clean water, and they need a sense of feeling that they're going to be okay. And if you, as a leader of your home, if you can't provide that for them, then I'm sorry to say it, but you have failed. Okay? If you're hearing this message and you haven't taken these steps, you simply have failed. All right? So for all those folks out there who are feeling scared, use that fear as an energy and go prepare some more. Well, I don't have anywhere else to put it, or I'm just prepared out. Well, go look through all your inventory and see what you have, and determine, hey, you know what? I think we're going to be okay. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of food put back. We have multiple ways of backup power. We have multiple ways to clean water. We've been through first aid classes. We have first aid kits and so on and so forth. If you can say that, then you have prepared, right? And kudos to all of those who fall in this bucket. And I know a lot of folks out there who are part of Hope for Survival. I know a lot of the folks out there who fall into the category that they're as prepared as they probably can get. And I compliment you, and my hat's off to you for staying the course. But if you have family members who continue to ignore you, you might want to share this message, because as I said in my last video on psychological operations, it's easy for the bear, the dog, to come up and lick your hand and get all the honey off, but when that honey's gone, that dog or bear is going to tear you up. And the world we live in right now is not sympathetic. Okay? And look at it this way. So you go spend some money and you put some food back and some other items back. Guess what? Food prices continue to go up. So what you pay for it now, in a month, 2, 3 months, what you invested in now is going to be cheaper than going and buying it in 2 or 3 months. It's kind of a no-brainer. I know here at our home, we use a lot of our stock. We call it, Miss Lucy calls it our internal grocery store. But we rotate our items out and we just replace them as we find good prices and good deals. And actually, it's kind of comforting to know that unless we choose to, we basically don't have to go to a grocery store anymore. And that makes me happy for a lot of reasons. So, anyway, I wanted to do this video to try to, for those who are new and not prepared, to start getting prepared. And for those of you who are prepared or preparing, don't let the world around you scare you. Keep your faith, strengthen your faith, strengthen your personal relationship with the Lord. Spend more time with your like-minded friends who you need that bond with, because these are the people you're going to reach out to and you're going to help one another. All right? I hate to sound like a broken record and beating the same drum, but I'm telling you, I've witnessed it in my past life in foreign countries. That's why I shared the last video on psychological ops. And I'm basically living through a reflection of a repeat of what I witnessed previously. Okay? When people are hungry, people are violent. They're almost worse than animals. All right? So get your stuff together and do the best that you can. Keep your head and chin up. Go enjoy the 4th of July. Have some watermelon. Fry a burger. Cook a hot dog, that is. And enjoy this point in your life. Okay? If we're depressed and down, we're doing exactly what they want us to do. So keep charging ahead and do the best that you can. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe. Share with those who are not prepared. And that's all you can do. Keep giving them crumbs, but don't let it get you down when they ignore you or call you a wacko. Okay? I have to say, I've met some of the most awesome people who I would have never met since I got into preparedness. I would not trade the friendships of anyone for anything in this world. And that includes 20 years in the military. So thank you to all of you for the people that you are and for the friendships that you've shared with me and for opening your home up over the past years to come spend time with you. So again, stay safe, keep your head on a swivel. We're entering into a holiday 4-day period. Be safe on the road, be safe at truck stops, car rest areas. I'm seeing reports of crime in rest areas, people pulling vehicles behind campers that are getting robbed, stabbed. Just know what's going on around you all the time. All right? Even at your front door. If someone's knocking on your door, do not open that door unless you know who's on the other side. And if it's someone you don't know, call one of your neighborhood community people that you've bonded with and ask them to observe or come help. Okay? So be blessed, and most of all, don't forget to give thanks. Bravo Echo out.